All right, let's get into the budget. Given all the spending and the $1 trillion debt on the horizon, I know everyone will tell me, they did tell me yesterday, all justified, Peter, because of COVID. Do you think we still believe in balanced budgets anymore? Is debt a big issue to voters?
Well, I personally believe that it's incredibly important that we collectively recognise that we are spending our children's money, that there are increased expenditures coming at us whether we like it or not, partly because of an aged population, but mainly because the world is now a dangerous and unstable place, and we must do more on supply chain security, whatever it costs, and defence security, such that we're able to secure our homeland if the worst happens. I cannot emphasise enough that I think this upcoming election, and the budget's about the upcoming election in large part, should be about who can best secure Australia's future.
Rebecca, I agree with John about the quality of the spending. I've no issue with the large amounts of money spent in the area of defence. My grievance is all the little bits of money that go out to individuals in these one-off payments. I mean, we still have in the budget tonight, we still have a carbon tax compensation, and we haven't had a carbon tax for 8 years because no one's got the guts to actually take this money off people. That's part of the problem when you spend money big to individuals.
That's absolutely right, Peter. Over the last few years, particularly during COVID, we don't seem to have seen anybody in the government who's capable of doing cost-benefit analysis. So we had some very poor quality spending, often to compensate for behaviour undertaken by state governments that punished and crippled state economies and then had to be compensated by federal taxpayers. So now we find ourselves in the position, obviously the government going into election again wants to be able to spend. And I think when I look at this, I feel fearful because I know that we are going into an environment where almost certainly interest rates are going to rise. And so the cost of all of this money that we are spending into the future and that we've already spent will go up. And there's really only one thing that the government can do to compensate for this, and that is to take the steps necessary to allow the economy to grow more quickly. Even though we're in a very dangerous environment, there are enormous opportunities for us as an energy superpower and an exporter. Our coal, our gas has never been more needed by our allies so that they can secure their energy from friends and not be blackmailed by enemies. So there are opportunities, but it takes far too long to develop mines and to push through in this area. We've got far too much lawfare and green tape tying up this economy. So let's hope that in addition to this spending, we see I know the government has tried to do this, but we need to renew those efforts so that we have any hope of paying for all this spending.